All right, earlier today, James Tallarico, a Texas state rep, a House Democrat, went on the Will Cain show and absolutely positively eviscerated Will Cain. I've only seen one clip, which is the first clip. I have 3 other ones lined up, but I already know what's going to happen. Okay, this is going insanely viral on social media. We're going to react to it together. James Tallarico is a breakout star in terms of communication within the Democratic Party. And I'm already excited, dude. I'm already excited. Watching Will Cain squirm in this clip is so fun. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at this first clip. We'll talk a little bit about it and we'll go from there. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do so right down below. It means a lot.
Again, I've condemned all gerrymandering across the country. And in fact, when Democrats had a majority in Congress, they voted to ban gerrymandering in every state, red states and blue states. Do you know how many Republican members of Congress joined them in that effort?
Which one? I'm sorry. Which state did you just refer to?
You can already see how uncomfortable he is.
Republicans joined Democrats in the U.S. Congress to ban gerrymandering. All the Democrats voted for it. 0 Republicans voted for it. 0.
It's an odd.
So you can spare me the both sides rhetoric. It's clearly one side that is trying to rig the rules in the middle of the game. This is like 2 football teams coming out of the locker room at halftime, and the team that's ahead says they want to change the rules for the second half so they can win the game. All of us would be throwing food at the TV if that happened. We don't accept cheating in our politics. We don't accept cheating in our relationships. We shouldn't accept cheating in our elections.
I appreciate whatever you just referred to about the number of Democrat congressmen that I'm unfamiliar with who made this against Republican congressmen who opposed it. It just kind of flies.
You already see Will Cain and how uncomfortable he is. James Tallarico putting it perfectly. Like, spare me the BS about both sides. And this is something we've talked about in terms of the Democrats and their strategy here, which is, moving forward. We've tried to ban gerrymandering. Every Republican votes against it. Okay, now we're trying to gerrymander the shit out of Texas right before the midterms. I guarantee if we start lining up blue states, we start mid-decade redistricting. California, New York, let's do it right now. Let's do it. We'll get a bill in Congress quickly where Republicans are saying we need to ban gerrymandering, right? It's a good playbook. So I've seen that clip. I haven't seen the other 3. So let's take a look. Let's listen to what James Tallarico has to say.
Congressman who opposed it. It just kind of flies in the face of reality when I look at the state of Massachusetts, where Donald Trump gets 35% of the votes, and there are 0 Republican representatives from the state of Massachusetts.
And who signed that map in Massachusetts?
And so what I'm curious about is words say one thing and actions do something else in a place like Massachusetts. So you can't refer to random words and actions to me when I see the evidence in these states. Look,
well, you just
in my view, Representative, you gave the ballgame analogy. In my view, what has happened here is you've done something in certain states and you don't like it when it's done in Republican states. And now you're saying you've done the same thing as us. You've done the same thing as us, and we are going to, by the way, if you do it, we're going to ratchet it up even more, in the words of Gavin Newsom.
My party has never gerrymandered in the middle of the decade at the request of the President of the United States, nor would we. The only way this is going to happen in blue states is if Texas executes this power grab. You mentioned Massachusetts. Right. Do you know the party of the governor that signed that map into law? He was a Republican. It was a Republican governor that signed that map into law. So I just want to be clear with our facts, and I don't want to muddy the waters. All of us, whether we're Democrats, independents, or Republicans, we should stand up to politicians who don't want to face accountability at the ballot box. That's exactly what's happening here. And I asked you, if Republican policies are popular, why do they need to redraw these maps? Why can't they just run on their policies?
I'm getting wrapped on time.
Look how uncomfortable Will Cain is. You see his facial reactions through that entire thing. Now at the end here saying, we're wrapped on time. No response there. I mean, James Tallarico is cooking with some gas. This is getting me excited. I'm like, woo! Let's go to the next one. Let's take a look.
Said I condemn those, called Texas rigged. They're similar in that way. So I would assume that means you think they're rigged. The only difference you drew was when? Middle of the decade. Middle census. Well, Gavin Newsom says he's about to do that in California, and Kathy Hochul says she's about to do that in New York. So they are guilty, in your mind, clearly, of rigging elections, clearly.
What? Obviously, it's a response. Right? I'm going to let this clip play, but it's a response, right? Gavin Newsom essentially loading the gun and saying, if you gerrymander Texas, I'm ready. Kathy Hochul saying, I'm prepared. We don't have to do this, but we can. It's like a Western standoff.
California and New York.
Both of those efforts in those blue states are contingent on if Texas decides to cheat, if Texas Republicans decide to draw these maps in the middle of the decade at the request of the most powerful man in the country.
So
Again,
you
those are
rig
two
in response to
factors,
something you call rigging. You cheat in response to something you think is cheating.
I'm trying to listen to you, and I'd love for you to try to give me a chance to speak. You know, I think that all of us should be alarmed, whether we're Democrats, independents, or Republicans, if the most powerful politician in the country, whether it's President Trump or President Obama, if they are trying to change the rules midway through the decade so they don't have to face accountability for their actions. What I would ask you is, if Republican policies are so popular, why do they have to redraw the maps before the election?
Well, my answer to that would be a reflection of political popularity is the number of offices you win and the majority that you enjoy. And right now, Representative, you are a distinct minority in the state of Texas. Your points of view are extremely in the minority, and that is a privilege of the majority. You know.
Wait, okay, I don't even know where Will Cain is going with that last part. What is he even about to get to? That has nothing to do with what James Tallarico said. But again, cooking with some gas. And it's so interesting, especially on a news network like Fox News, to watch them and Republicans try to play this almost this, not empathy card, but this, just because you see something is against the rules now, you're going to be so bad and evil and you're going to play against the rules now? You guys are going to rig just because you feel like someone else is rigging? That's not appropriate. It's just like, wow, really? Republicans want to play what's appropriate and not appropriate in terms of acting on certain things in government. Donald J. Trump, the convicted felon who tried to overthrow an election he didn't win, who's expanding executive authority in a way we've never seen before, ignoring federal judges. It's like, spare me the bullshit. And that's why I like people like James Tallarico. Why I like these communicators who go on Fox News and just call it how it is. Like, spare me that. That's garbage. But also being so calm and cool and collected, which is something I struggle with because I get amped. I'm like, woo. But James Tallarico here saying, can I speak? Can I please speak? Wow. Unbelievable. All right. Let's go to the last clip here. Let's take a look.
It's exactly what's happening here. And I asked you, if Republican policies are popular, why do they need to redraw these maps? Why can't they just run on their policies?
I'm getting wrapped on time. I'm enjoying this conversation. I want to let it go on, and I apologize. That's such is the nature of cable television. But
he's not getting wrapped on time. I wonder. I don't know. I feel like they continue the conversation, and then he said it again because it sounds like a slightly different version. But again, look at his face. Look how happy James Tallarico is. Yes. Okay. Yeah. He knows. He knows that people like you are watching this, going, "Let's go." It would mean a lot if you could share this video and click like down below. Show this to like a MAGA friend or family member. Shout out to James Tallarico and the House Democrats in Texas. I've been looking to do some collaborative work with them. I got to do a few interviews that I posted on TikTok, actually, which there'll be links in the description for that, because I am currently in Chicago and a lot of the Texas Democrats coming to Illinois. But there's also going to be more content coming with not only Texas House Democrats, but Gen Zers in Texas who are running for Congress. Have you ever heard of Isaiah Martin? I know many of you have. Going to be posting some content with him soon. So make sure you're subscribed down below so you don't miss it. I really, really appreciate all the love lately. We're almost at 70,000 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. Insane. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Be safe out there. Keep fighting one day at a time. And I'll see you in the next video.